Hi, so as many of you know, we've ripped out our kitchen. We have no kitchen. It's just whatever a semblance of a kitchen with the cabinets and a place to plug in a stove is now gone, and it's just bare studs until we build that back out again. So meanwhile, how does 7 people eat? And friends, because you know we have young kids, so they always have friends. One of them is baby, so he eats formula, he's good. 2 of us have to have gluten-free because we're celiacs. So we can't have gluten, which is a whole nother tricky ball of wax all in of itself, because we are not a solely gluten-free household, just 2 of us. So we have to worry about cross-contamination. But here is what we're doing, and I'm going to go on the other side of the camera now, because that way you guys can see that and not me. All right, so this, I'm going to scope out here. That is my 8-foot-long harvest table, which is serving as kitchen. That's our banquette or our seating. But as you can tell, I have a whole lot of things that I have to do, so half the seating is gone. This is our other seating right now, that coffee table. So we hover around that coffee table, and that's where we eat. But let's take a closer look. So tonight, we had mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, and Polish dogs, okay? How do you cook a meal that size with this setup? With these. Okay, so this is the hot plate. This pan goes right on it. I got this stuff at Walmart. Well, the microwave came with, that wasn't included in our house. And then that hot plate, it's like a big 12-inch skillet. Right there, a big 12-inch skillet that sits on this hot plate, and so that's where I cook at. And this little thing, this is a big toaster oven. It's not as big as they get, but it was 50 bucks at Walmart, guys. 50 bucks at Walmart. I do not even know how we've made it. Look at this. Okay, so when I'm gonna just hit this. So when I hit start, we can do 4 slices of toast, a convection oven, which I didn't even have at home. You can do a keep warm function, a rotisserie. There's a bar. I could do a whole chicken in there. Not that I would, but I can. You can reheat stuff. You can defrost things. You can, bake cookies. Yeah, right. You can pizza. This is the setting that has gotten the most use. So setting 9 minutes. So if I hit start, right there, it's just going to start that cooking time. And in less time than it would take me to heat the oven up, the pizza is done. Literally. Like, it took me that long to heat the oven because we're not doing a giant space. And then that is our dirty dishes wash tub. And then I've just been taking that to my mom's and washing them, because otherwise it looks a lot like me having to go to a tiny sink in the other room, load water in it, and do them by hand. And then we don't have a sink in this space, so my Norwex water pitcher works perfect for room temperature water, and I don't have to go back and forth, back and forth. And up here we have everything. I am not a big proponent of using paper throwaway items, but for the purposes of while we're living here, we did opt for paper. And for purposes of living here, it's the only time until our kitchen gets done. But I do have paper towels available. We do not use throwaway items like that in our house because I sell Norwex and there's a better way. But for the ease and convenience, this is what we've done. We've got all of our cups here because I can't do paper cups. And I don't do plastic silverware either. I don't mind a paper plate. I don't like it, but I don't mind it. So then we have all of our silverware in here and our utensils and seasonings lined up back there and our Norwex cutting boards. And this is how we're surviving in our kitchen. And then where do we put our food? Like, I'm used to a pantry. So I had found this cabinet at an antique store years ago. It used to be an old grocery display case. So that's kind of cool. I never used it for that. I used it as a bookshelf and it worked great. But we've got a coffee bar set up right there, which obviously I use all the time. And then we have a pantry. So we've got our cereals, all of our snack foods that we're surviving on, a little bit of gluten, a little bit of non-gluten, you know, chips, main staple of the day, protein bars, staple items that really rarely get used, like cooking oil and things like that. And, you know, anyway, that's how we're doing it until further notice when our kitchen gets done. So you guys will obviously be updated when we make that progress, and we're really excited for that. You don't think about what you're gonna really miss until you don't have it, and I really miss the convenience of running water right in the space you're cooking in. I never even really considered it before, but just that aspect of having clean hands, I would wash my hands like, you know, 20 times in the course of cooking a meal, just quick rinses, and there's no water in here. So that looks a lot like I'm gonna go across the hall, wash my hands, and then try not to touch anything, which, you know, doesn't work real well. So it's kind of like as clean as you get when you're camping. And then I cook on these reusable or these throwaway tins because it's just easiest right now. And typically we're not that wasteful, but for right now, for this season of a couple months, we will be. The other thing I really, really miss is a place to do dishes. I miss my dishwasher. I love having a, you know, going over. I don't mind going over to my mom's and doing the dishes, but having something to tootle around in and get your dishes done and your space cleaned up is a luxury that we don't have right now. And so I do really miss that aspect of our kitchen. So anyway, that's how we're doing this for right now. Feel free to ask questions, and I will show you the best. But the toaster oven, totally a must, people. I will still use this even after we get ovens because it's so quick, so easy, and you're just done. You're done. You're not heating up the whole house for an hour. So super easy. For our meal tonight, we did stuffing in those pie plates. We did the Polish dogs in those pie plates, and two pie plates and 3 pie plates. So on each level, we had 2 pie plates of stuffing and 1 of the meat. And those all went in the toaster oven. I boiled water for the potatoes. We just did instant potatoes, so it was super easy. And then I heated up boiling water in the microwave for the gravy. So it was super doable, and better than a frozen pizza. So that's what we did.